morning, everyone, and welcome to ABMP's Meditate and Move. My name is Cindy Williams. I am a licensed massage therapist and certified yoga teacher. And today we're going to be engaging in a yin practice. Now, yin yoga is really interesting in that it is a very quiet, restful, and inward practice. However, it's definitely not an easy practice per se. Yin is designed to take us to the edge of our comfort zone and then have us kind of hang out there on that edge and find some peace and stillness and opening within that edge. So think of it as a metaphor to life. Oftentimes when we find ourselves feeling kind of uncomfortable, either physically, mentally, emotionally, our tendency as humans might be to avoid, resist, or even distract ourselves away from those feelings and sensations. So yin is a fantastic practice for cultivating a sense of peace and really sitting with ourselves in those feelings, in those emotions, being present with them. That way, that energy can move and dissipate through the body rather than get stuck. We can literally be mindful about what's happening in our minds and bodies. So, a typical practice with yin as well, the postures are held for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. Just enough time for your mind to start wandering. So it is an opportunity to see and hear where our minds go in the quiet and stillness and redirect, choose the ways that we think and the ways that we experience discomfort. For today's practice, because it is a short practice, we will hold poses for anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. If you are new to yin, you may want to start there anyway. However, if you have a more seasoned yin practice, certainly feel free to use this same sequence and just hold the poses for a bit longer. We are going to begin in butterfly pose. Now, I am sitting on a meditation cushion. You don't have to have a cushion at all under your hips, but I do find that it's a little bit better for ensuring that my spine begins in an upright position. So you can use also a meditation cushion, you can use a yoga block, you can use a bed pillow, whichever you prefer. For butterfly pose, please put the soles of your feet together, allow your knees to go out wide. You want your heels to be about a foot from your pelvis. Sometimes when we do cobbler's pose in a hatha practice, you have your heels in a little closer. For our yin practice, we'll have our heels out, again, about a foot. If you like, you can also place cushions underneath your knees, or you can just let them hang out wherever they are and let gravity do its thing. I am going to use a timer today so that if we do anything that's on unilateral, we make sure that we keep ourselves symmetrical and staying in the posture for the same amount of time on each side. For butterfly, please reach up through the crown of the head. Then beginning from the belly, then the thoracic spine, and then the head, you'll slowly lean forward. Once you get to your edge here, and you'll feel the stretch in your low back, in your hips, in your inner thighs, you'll want to grab a yoga block or a few more cushions, whatever you need to be able to prop your head up. If you really don't have any of those available, you can also put your elbows to your shins, the inside of your shins, and place your thumbs at your third eye and rest your head. The bottom line is you want to get into a place that you can settle into and totally let go. So get comfortable with that. You can adjust the block at whatever height you like. And I'll go ahead and set our timer for about 1 minute here. Now, I won't do this posture with you just so that you can hear me when I'm talking. But as you hold this, you will notice that there's some opening happening in your hips, inner thighs, low back, and it might feel a little like you're on the edge. If you need to back away, please honor your body and do that. However, you can also choose to send your breath to those areas that feel just on the edge of that stretch. You can also speak to your body through your thoughts. Your body will absolutely listen if you simply say, open. Those tissues will open for you. Believe it or not, 1 minute goes quite quickly. And if you're holding this for longer, for the 3 to 5 minutes, that's when it really gets edgy. But for now, we'll go ahead and move on to the next posture. So you can move your block or your cushion that you had your head resting on out of the way and take your hands and walk them up towards your body so you can get your spine erect again. We're going to move now into half dragonfly. You'll simply take your right leg out wide. You'll take your left sole of your foot into the inner right thigh. Now this right leg can be really at any angle. If you prefer to have it a little closer to midline, that's no problem. That's a little more comfortable. Or if you have a little more flexibility in the hips, you can take it out a little bit wider. And then from here, please start with the belly, then the chest, then the head, and face your torso as best you can toward your right big toe. So you'll be in a slight twist. And from here, starting with the belly, then the thoracic spine, and then the head, just rest down over that right leg. And you'll grab a block or cushion again that you can rest your head on. You'll really feel this through the left low back, QL, through the left hip, right hamstring. And I will give you about a minute here of silence to feel what that edge feels like and to breathe into it. Nice deep breaths through the nose and out the nose. Allow the muscles and surrounding connective tissue to completely surrender to this experience. Breathing in and breathing out. And as our minute passes, move the block or cushion away and walk your hands toward your body to rise up again through a long spine and switch sides. Take the left leg out, right leg in, right sole of the foot to the inner thigh of the left leg. Begin by directing your belly, your chest, and your head toward your left big toe and roll round forward. Belly, thoracic spine, and head onto a block or cushion. You might notice that one side is different than the other. I know my right hamstring is definitely more open than my left, or hamstrings, I shall say. So I feel more sensation on this side Then on the other, in the hamstrings, however, I feel a bit less sensation on the right low back, QL area, than I did on the left. So it's very interesting to tune into the body and feel those subtle differences. This mindful practice really gives you a chance to know your body on a deeper level, to recognize those areas that are more constricted than others, so that we can continue working with them. Create a bit more balance in the body. And as our minute passes, quite quickly, remove the block or cushion, take your hands and walk yourself up to an upright spine. And now that we have opened our inner thighs on both sides, we're going to now move into a full dragonfly. That was half dragonfly, which we just did. Full dragonfly, our legs are out to a wide V. And if you need to bring your legs a little more toward midline, that's no problem. You do what feels good for you. Always listening to your own body and your own limitations. All of our bodies are different, so we honor each and every one of us. And then just as you did with butterfly and half dragonfly, as you come forward, you will tilt forward onto the pelvis, belly first, and then round forward. And you can keep your head up with fists. You can rest on your elbows with your thumbs at third eye, or again, you can use your block. You can use a cushion. Whatever you like. I kind of like a cushion sometimes in this posture because it supports my belly a little bit more. And from here, you surrender. Feeling the opening in the low back. I'm going to stay upright as I walk you through this, just so that you can hear my voice. For you, you will completely release your head and neck, even feeling a stretch all the way up the spine, up through the neck, the back of the head. If you notice any tension in the jaw, this would be a great time to release that as well. Definitely feeling sensation in your inner thighs, outer thighs, hips. Also note that you can completely relax your feet. I have a tendency to stay flexed just because I typically do a vinyasa practice. Well, I do both, but I do a lot of vinyasa. And really, yin is, it's key to let everything go so that that connective tissue around the muscles can fully open. Okay, and from here, go ahead and take each hand to each side of whatever you're using to prop you up and walk your hands toward your body as you rise up into a straight spine. And now I'm going to remove my cushion and we're going to go into deer pose. So all you'll do from Dragonfly is take your right foot into your left inner thigh, similar to what we were with half Dragonfly. And you'll take the left knee, bend it, and place your left foot just outside of your left hip. Okay? And from here, we will once again direct our belly and our chest, our whole torso toward the right knee, and you'll lean forward. And this one, once again, you can use a block or a cushion, or you can also rest completely onto the floor if you have that flexibility. This is a bit more of an opener in the hip. And we'll rest here just for about 45 seconds. longer. You'll find one of the amazing things about a yin practice is it increases our range of motion in our joints. It's a really great idea to practice yin after doing a more active practice when your body is a bit more warm. The tissues, the ground substance of your connective tissue is more, it's more fluid. And so you'll be much more able to release those tissues that surround the joint and increase your range of motion. You're already at 45 seconds here, so slowly walk your hands back towards your body to lift up, and we'll simply switch sides. So that left sole of the foot will go into your right inner thigh. Right knee bends, so your right foot is just outside your right hip. Direct your body over your left thigh and knee and slowly come forward and down. And for this side, I'll go ahead and give you about 40 seconds of silence so that you can feel what's happening in your body. Notice your thoughts. Now use your hands pressing into the earth to lift up your torso. Walk your hands in toward your body to come up to a seat. And next we're going to come onto our bellies. Move some of the props out of the way. You will not need them for this particular pose. We'll be doing Sphinx pose. So come down onto your belly. Align your elbows beneath your shoulders. You can have your arms out parallel in front of you, or you can also grab each of your elbows or forearms. Whichever you prefer is just fine. Lift up through the shoulders. And unlike Sphinx in a vinyasa practice, you can actually release your hips, glutes, thighs, legs, ankles, and feet. If you feel any bad sensation in your low back, because sometimes if you have low back problems, this can compress things a little much. And if that's the case, then you can just lie flat on your belly. Sometimes that's enough. Otherwise, lifting up through the chest and then letting your head hang so that you get a good stretch up the back of the neck. Unhinging the jaw if it has started to clench again. If you need a bit more sensation, you can press into your hands and begin to straighten your elbows into what's called swan pose. It's just a bit of a more intense version of Sphinx. This is now swan. Either way, release the neck. Pull the shoulders back onto the back, shoulder blades. And it's perfectly fine to stay in Sphinx as well, or to stay lying flat on your belly. Honor your body. want an edge, but no pain. And now drop down back onto your elbows if you were up in swan. And also go ahead and lay right down onto your belly. We're going to do now what's called an open wing pose. I'm going to reset my timer here. For open wing pose, I'm going to do this away from you to start. You'll take your left arm out to a T and then roll your whole body onto your left side. This might be enough of a shoulder opener for you. And if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, you can also take your right leg and bend at the knee, stamp your right foot just behind your left leg, and that'll give you a little more opening. You can also reach your right arm behind you and allow gravity to open the right shoulder as well. I tend to like to just let things release on the left side myself. So we'll stay here in open wing pose for about another 30 seconds. Your head will be heavy, just rested onto the mat. This is a great posture for us massage therapists, really for anyone, since we're rounded forward, texting and on our computers so often. But we work really hard as massage therapists on the bodies in front of us and can oftentimes need some opening in the chest. Okay, our minute is up. Roll onto your belly and simply switch sides. Take your right arm out to a T. Roll onto your right side. You can either stack your legs or take your left foot and stamp it on the floor behind your right leg and rest your head on the floor. Hand can rest on the floor in front of you, or your left arm can also reach out behind. And as best you can, you want not much muscle effort here. Allow gravity to open the fascia across your chest. And that opening happens by the pulling on your arms. If your arm is in the air, just release it back down in front of you and roll your body facing down. And now we're simply gonna, like a pancake, flip ourselves over so that we are on our backs. Release both legs. Slightly draw the scapula, the shoulder blades up underneath your body. Open your hands to the ceiling and rest in Shavasana. Today, I'm going to leave you in Shavasana. Please rest here as long as you like. We're being given a lovely opportunity in our lives right now to slow down, to rest, to take it easy, and to take care of ourselves. I'm so grateful that you were here with me again today, showing up to yourself, showing up to each other, showing up to the mat, and taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. Thank you again. Namaste.